Welcome to another Q&A session for the best club in history, Real Madrid, hosted by Gaëlle. This is a Madridismo.org production.
Hi everyone, welcome to this Q&A session. I'm Gaëlle from Madridismo.org, and today we'll discuss the Champions game, Real Madrid vs Zagreb, with Umid from... I'm sorry, what's the... I haven't written it down. What's your address again? realmadridinfo.wordpress.com, that's right?
Yeah,
Umid?
that's the Real Madrid account, and the personal account is UKD59.
Okay, good. That's on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so well, thank you for joining. Also, we have Tanuj from the realmadridfan.com. Hi, Tanuj, how are you?
Hi, Gaëlle. I'm doing great. Thanks. How about you?
Well, you know, I told you already. And we have Apaskhit. Thanks a lot, Apaskhit, for joining again. You're our savior.
Thank you so much. Pleasure is all mine.
Okay, so last night's game, I would like to. I usually ask you guys what was your general feeling about the game, but I have another question first. So first, I would like to know what you thought about the starting lineup, because coming into this game, like there were several challenges. Madrid was undefeated in the group phase. They had kept a clean sheet. And they could come out of this game with the mathematical lead of the group. And Mourinho had made it clear that he really wanted to go for that. He didn't want to go for the second place. And also, we were coming from a tough game against Valencia. Several players were injured or exhausted, especially after the international break. So Mourinho had a bit of a challenge here with to take all that into consideration, especially with the derby coming this weekend. So overall, what did you think of the lineup? Did you think it was smart? Did you expect more changes or less changes or whatever? I don't know, Tanuj, maybe you want to go first since you could prepare a little bit.
I think it was a smart lineup. Anyway, we had progressed to the next stage. And the lineup and many players were to be rested. That was always on the cards. But more than the starting lineup, I think the changes at halftime to have Ramos, Ozil, and who else?
Altintop?
No. Who else went off?
Oh, went off. Alonso.
Yeah, so Ramos, Alonso, and Ozil to be subbed off. That was a smart move rather than the starting 11, I think.
Okay.
Who's going next?
Do I
go ahead.
All right.
Fine, then I'll go in. Yeah. Actually, I was pretty happy with the starting lineup. I wanted to see Granero in it, but then again, maybe Mourinho doesn't want to take any chances. You know, he wants to go unbeaten perhaps, but yeah, it was a good lineup. I was very happy to see Shaheen starting actually, and Benzema and Higuain. That was like a dream for me to see them starting together, and it was good because they did very well. You know, the way Benzema moved, the way Callejon moved. Actually, I would say it created a lot of space for our strikers, and it was good. And the substitutions were good. And Lus at right back, I think that's his position from now on. That's what I can say.
Okay.
Well, I knew that the starting lineup would be shuffled, and Mourinho made some really, really smart moves. Callejon came in, Casillas was rested. Ronaldo was rested, and he needed rest, After playing for Portugal, he played twice against Bosnia, and those two, especially the first game. The first game was really, really difficult, and the second game also was difficult. So Ronaldo needed rest. And Mourinho gave him rest. And the best thing, we won 6-2.
Okay, that's funny. You should say that. Oh, I'm sorry, Tanuj. Go ahead.
I think more than Ronaldo, the Spanish players needed rest. They were traveling after being on the road once they traveled to England for the game against England at Wembley.
Yeah.
And then they were playing Costa Rica all the way in South America.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good point actually.
so more than the Portuguese players, I think the Spanish players needed rest. Ramos needed rest, Alonso needed rest, and Casillas obviously got rest as
I
well.
think Alonso needs a little more less than what he's getting at the moment. I mean, he's a human, but sometimes I think he's played a lot. I mean, I think he's the highest. He's got the highest minute as an outfield player. I think, if I'm not wrong, and I think he needs a rest. I think he'll just wear him out when the season goes ahead. I think he needs a rest.
Yeah, I think Alonso definitely needed a rest, and I was surprised. I mean, it was to be expected, but since he was never given a chance
Yeah,
to
exactly.
rest, I thought he's not gonna get any rest yesterday either.
He just got 45 minutes. I was expecting 90.
Yeah, well, maybe I think. Well, the thing is, that's what I thought. Since Sahin was playing, and I don't know where Mourinho intends to have him play in the future. But if he wants to partner him with Alonso, that was a good opportunity to see how that was going. No?
I would,
Yeah. You carry on. You carry on.
I would say this possibly wasn't the best game to judge that on. Zagreb, who have not scored any goals in the Champions League up until yesterday, obviously, weren't the best opponents to judge your defensive to judge Alonso and Sahin combination. So
Yeah, that's true. That's really true. That's true. Because if you see Zagreb, they did not press us high up on the pitch. They didn't even press us. So if we evaluate on yesterday's performance, it's not gonna work, because if we play like for Atletico Madrid, play against them, they're gonna press us up, and if they press us high up the pitch, I'm a bit skeptic about this Alonso and Shaheen pairing.
Okay.
But let's see what it does.
Apaskhit, do you want to say something else?
No, well, I completely drink to the fact that it wouldn't be fair to judge them on the performance that they put in yesterday, because Zagreb, obviously they just scored 2 goals in 5 games, and both the goals were scored yesterday. So I would say let's not jump the gun here.
Okay. Well, I want to go back to what you said, Apaskhit. You said, the best thing was the score 6-2. And my opinion is the worst thing was the score 6-2, because I was so hoping for 6-0, I was so disappointed when we received those 2 goals.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have this bittersweet feeling, like, oh, that's great, we scored a lot, blah, blah, blah. But on the other hand, it's like, oh, those 2 stupid goals, it's like, no. So I don't know, how do you guys feel about it?
Well, I feel that the players became a bit too complacent. They thought that, okay, we have scored 6 goals, we can sit back now. But then defenders can never switch off, which they did yesterday, which is why we conceded 2 goals. And when I said the best thing was we won, I was referring to the fact that we gave our French players a little run up, So when I said we won 6-2, I meant that our French players played well,
Okay.
But then, the defender should never switch off, It will terribly harm our team, So the defenders can never switch off.
Okay. Have we lost somebody? You the 3 of you are here?
No, I think my connection got cut. Now I'm back again, I guess.
Okay, that's Umid talking, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Tanuj, you're still here.
yep.
Okay, good, because I got a message suddenly. I was like, oh, we missed somebody. But okay, that's good. Okay, good. Well, Umid or Tanuj, you wanna say your opinion on the game? I mean, not so much your opinion, but your feeling. Like how you.
Yeah, I think we scored well. We played very well in the first half. Callejon's off the ball movements were fantastic. He actually his runs from he was going to the middle. He was swapping positions. He was dragging defenders out of their positions, and that gave space for Higuain and Benzema. Especially if you've noticed, I think in Ozil's goal, you see the movement. You see Callejon goes in the middle. He was going on the right. He was going again on the right, left, and he was actually, in a way, he was changing the formation. From a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-3-3, sometimes to a 4-2-2-2. So I think if this guy, he's not as talented as Pedro Leon, but his tactical awareness and off the ball movements are, it's too good. I think he'll get more chances in the future if he plays like this.
Yeah, I actually like him a lot because I'm kind of a I like a lot players who run a lot, move a lot. You can see they're really fighting for the ball and everything. And I thought he really demonstrated that yesterday. So yeah, I was happy with his performance. Tanuj, you wanna tell us what you think?
On the 2 goals that we conceded, a possibility of it, as Apaskhit mentioned, is the complacency.
Yeah.
Which is true. Another point possibly is that at the back we were playing 4 players who have not played together. We were playing Albiol, Las, and Varane and Contrao at the back.
Yeah.
So that combination has not played together. So just besides complacency, it was the combination that hadn't gelled together as well. That was possibly the reason that we lost 2 goals.
Okay.
And Varane, I think he's got a massive future ahead of him. He was superb in the first half. The composure he shows, the calmness he shows by winning the ball, it's fantastic. Because he's so young. He's just 18, and it's hard to believe sometimes because the way he tackles. He doesn't panic while tackling. And I think yes, the 2 goals we conceded, one of them was directly Varane's fault. He couldn't time his jump properly, but he's young still, and of course he has time to grow. If he's tall, and he sometimes has problems in winning aerial duels, but if as year goes, as time passes, he will learn it, and he has the good tutoring of Ricardo Carvalho. He will teach him properly, and I think he's a good buy. He's a fantastic player he'll be.
Yes, I could not agree more. No, I'm joking because
so that's why he has added connection to you.
Yeah, exactly. Apaskhit, I realize right now that I might have cut you off earlier when we temporarily lost Umid. So I don't know if I did. I'm sorry. And if you wanna add something, well, go ahead.
Well, yes, I would just like to add that yesterday our marking was also poor. When in the box, the defenders should take out players completely. They should mark them. But yesterday I thought that our marking was really, really poor.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something which we need to work on. And
okay. Yeah, that was one of the topics I had for later on. Let me see. Where's my list of questions? I wanted to talk about the defense, and I wanted to ask whether it was a problem on our side. Like Adan said, Adan after the match, he was a bit upset. He was happy for the victory, but he was a bit upset because of course he's the goalkeeper, and he never plays, and for once he plays, and he gets scored like that in that manner. And he said it was 2 stupid goals, like 2 stupid mistakes. And on the other hand, Mourinho said, well, no, we really did the job we had to do. The players are tired. Maybe they were a bit more relaxed, like you guys said, because the game was going so well, and you lose kind of pace, right, when it's like that. So Adan thinks it's more to blame on Real Madrid. Mourinho is like, well, it's just the circumstances. And on top of it, Dinamo, they were hurt in their pride, and so they went for the goal like that. So Mourinho seems to think it's a question of pride, and Dinamo did well, and Adan seems to think, well, it's really stupid on our part. So you've kind of answered already a little bit, but if you want to go a bit deeper on that subject.
I think a keeper will never be happy to let in a goal. So Adan is expected to mention that it was our fault that we conceded 2 goals, even though Zagreb were motivated to get a consolation goal, and they got 2 consolation goals in fact. So both Mourinho has a different perspective to it, Adan has a different perspective to it. So that's where the difference in opinion lies, I think.
Okay.
I think Mourinho, I don't think he wants to say something like our defense should have done better and blah blah. That'll actually blow the morale, because they'll be like, what the hell, we scored 6 goals and we conceded 2. That's still the boss is whining and all that. But I think that's the reason. I'm just being a little bit lighthearted here. But yeah, Adan has all the right to be sad, and Mourinho has all the right to be, a bit less what they say to that, criticize, something like that. So
Critical.
I think. Actually, I'm not getting the word. This is my first. I'm overexcited actually. Anyways, so I think for Adan, this kid is so good. I don't know like how he doesn't get to play so much. He's a good keeper. Whenever he's been given the gloves, he does well. And the 2 goals which were conceded, I don't think he could do anything about it. The first one was Varane's mistimed jump, and the second one was, I think I would blame Lus for that too. He didn't mark his man properly, and there's nothing Adan could do about it. And then there is nothing Mourinho could say about it, because the players did well without Cristiano, and of course Angel Di Maria. So I think it's okay. I think sometimes the coach has to be a bit less criticizable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Apaskhit?
Well, I think there are 2 different perspectives here, because from Mourinho's point of view, everything was great, But then the goalkeepers, what they hate to do the most is pick the ball off the back of the net, That's like night fish for them. They just don't want to do that. They just don't want to concede. So I thought conceding 2 cheap goals rather, was bad. But from Mourinho's point of view, we won the game with our French players, so it was fine. But
okay, yeah, I think the thing is, like we could have have a record, right? Like keeping a clean sheet the whole group phase, and we're not going to do that. So I guess Adan is also feeling like, I was on the pitch when that happened, when we missed that opportunity. So, yeah, not cool for him. Okay, so a few more words about the defense and Varane. We've already heard Umid on the question. You said that he was great, although he made a few mistakes yesterday. Tanuj, you said that the defense was just maybe not used to playing together as much as when it's the traditional defense we have. Apaskhit, another comment about our defense and Varane, maybe?
Well, your voice is breaking.
I'm sorry?
Your voice is breaking.
He says your voice is broken.
My voice is broken. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, he wants you to repeat it, I guess.
Okay, was my voice broken for you too, Umid and Tanur?
No, I could hear it actually.
Okay, good. So I go again. What I was basically summing up what Umid and Tanuj said about the defense and Varane yesterday, and I wanted to know what you thought about it.
Yes, well, I thought in the first half our defenders did a decent job, But then in the box again, if you don't mark strikers, they're surely going to do some damage. And the Zagreb players did that yesterday,
Yeah.
You just cannot leave them free. The defenders must make sure to pick players up. You man mark them. You just take them out of the game, which we failed to do. Had we kept a clean sheet, that would have been some record. Having played 5 games and 5 clean sheets in the Champions League, that's a really, really big thing.
Yeah.
That yesterday, yeah.
Okay. What about the combination Benzema-Higuain? So Umid, I understand that you were very excited about it and happy. Higuain said that he and Benzema have a great understanding, and they're a good connection. They play well together, and what I think it showed yesterday, because Benzema scored 2 and he provided 1 assist, and 1 assist only for somebody else, and Higuain scored 1 and he assisted 1 also. So yeah, it's definitely working out well. But is it just because Zagreb wasn't the most challenging team, or was it really that they work well together and it's promising for future games?
I think the factor is that I think they both can play together because they complement each other. Benzema is more of a hybrid between a number 9 and a number 10. So he can be a second striker for when Higuain plays, he can assist him from the wings or from behind him. And if you've noticed Ozil's goal, you will realize that Benzema made a run sideways, which drew the defender out of the way. And this guy Higuain, he shot, the keeper saved it and the ball fell to Ozil and he scored it. So basically, it was the movements of Benzema and Higuain. It caused a lot of problems because both are strikers and strikers are basically man marked. But when you see two strikers playing, one is playing on the wing, one is playing in the center, one is swapping positions. And of course, there is Callejon who is also swapping positions like crazy, and the defenders must be having a torrid time, and that's what they had. They opened up space, and it was easy. It was easy going. It was like school kids versus Real Madrid, something like that. I don't mean to offend Dinamo Zagreb by that, but the stuff was like that, so I had to say it anyway.
Okay.
I think if the combination was great between Benzema and Higuain. Actually, the combination of the midfield players and the two strikers was the decisive factor. Whenever Higuain pulled into the wings or whenever Benzema pulled into the wings, somebody from midfield, somebody like Callejon would fill in their gap and make things difficult for the defense. The defenders would try to man mark a striker and then be pulled into the wings, leaving space open for a midfielder to run into the box and take a shot at it, which Callejon did on 2 instances and scored 2 goals. And Ozil in the first half did the same thing and scored as well.
Okay.
Well, I thought the combination was really, really good. You know, it worked out really well for us. But then again, we are jumping the gun a little here because Zagreb defensively they were very, very, very poor. You know, their defending was absolutely shambolic. So yeah, so I think it's too early to say that both should start for us. You know, because when we play teams who are defensively good, I think they may struggle a little. You know.
Okay.
I would, on that point, I would say that I agree that Zagreb's defense wasn't all that great, but then again, you can't take away the credit from the strikers because they were the reason that Zagreb's defense looked crappy to be brutal to their defense. In fact, when we traveled to Zagreb, we won 1-0. That was a difficult. If I'm not wrong, that was a free kick goal. So it's
I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to take credit away from the strikers. There is no doubt that they combined really well and they played well, you know, yesterday. But then I'm just trying to say that they may struggle. I'm just suggesting. I'm just trying to say that they may struggle against teams who defend well, you know. But then on yesterday's performance, they were really good, you know. I would.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think the trio of Higuain, Benzema, and Callejon, they're all three very different. Benzema likes to, he doesn't like to dribble. Benzema likes to, pass it one time or in 2 touches, pass it within 2 touches. Sometimes it works. Actually, most of the time it works. It is good. The tempo is quick and it's problematic for the defenders. And the best part about the pairing was the Higuain assist for Benzema. That was so amazing. I could see that again and again and again because the back heel from Higuain, it was that space was so less, but still he granted out that pass. It was incredible. And when Higuain came to Real Madrid, he was not much of a complete player. Now it's different. Now he can pass, he can score, he can do almost everything a complete striker can. It's like, I think now he's more complete. If you've seen yesterday, you would see the passes from he sometimes goes on the left, he's passing, he's switching the flank, switching the wings. It was good. I think it's good to see Higuain doing that because he has a lot of haters and I want that to go away. I want the haters to decrease. I want the haters to shut up for a while.
Well, we want all the haters to shut up. We should all be united, not be, like hating each other.
Divided, yeah.
Okay, so unless any one of you want to add something on the Benzema, Higuain, or Callejon, we can move on to another question. Okay,
I think it's good.
Okay, we move on. Okay, so I would like to talk a bit more about Sahin and Altintop, although we talked about Sahin a little bit at the beginning. But we saw Sahin a little bit a few games back. Was it a few games back or was it last game? I don't even remember. And Altintop we just saw like a few minutes of him once or twice. But this time we got to see them much more, like a full half for Altintop, a full game for Sahin. So I think we can form a better opinion. I'm suspecting you're gonna say, oh no, because Zagreb wasn't so good, so we cannot really say anything. But maybe we can start to see patterns and things that worked well and things that didn't. So Sahin actually admitted himself that he didn't play well, and Mourinho seconded that in the press conference. But what was your opinion on both those players? Are you happy they joined the team now that you could see them play with the other teammates? Or I don't know, what do you think?
Well, I'm really happy that both of them have recovered from their problems. Sahin was out. With a knee problem. So we did not get to see him. But then I would just like to say that when a French player gets a chance, I think he should make the most of it, like Gaëlle did last night.
Yeah.
When he got the chance, he scored twice and he played really, really well. But then I thought Sahin failed to do that. I've seen a lot of him when he used to play for Borussia Dortmund. He was really good, and he played a huge role in Borussia Dortmund winning the Bundesliga title. So I thought yesterday he wasn't good, but then I'm quite sure that he'll prove his critics wrong and he'll start performing well.
Okay.
And Hamid, how do you pronounce it? Altintop?
Yeah, Altintop. Yeah.
Yeah, Altintop.
Yeah, Altintop. I thought he came on in the second half, and I thought he was fine. He was also fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you cannot make a direct comparison with Gaëlle and Sahin. Sahin he was out for about 6 months or something like that, and he just made his first start in 6 months. So it's obvious he won't play at his best. He's not 100% yet. But there was this one moment of his when he made a lob pass at Ozil. He couldn't finish it, however, but that pass was very good. It shows what he can do if he's fully fit. He's not fully fit yet, but he still had, I think, about 93% successful passing percentage. I'm not sure about that. I just saw it on my timeline. But anyways, I think he was good. Overall, I was happy with him because given that he's come after 6 months and he's gone through a lot. This is just his preseason actually, but if he continues like this, I think he will reach his best. At least it'll take at least 1 month for him to reach his best. And Altintop, I think that I like that guy. He's a good player, but I don't think he should have joined us or Real. He shouldn't have joined Real Madrid because we have so many players who can play in so many positions, and I think he won't get many chances because there are so many players. Like I've said, Lusk can play right back, central midfield, right midfield. Then Coentrao can play in so many positions. Granero can play in so many positions. This signing of Altintop didn't make sense, but I hope he does well as he's a Real Madrid player now. I would of course hope that, but he's a good player, but he's not needed actually. That's what I want to say.
Okay.
Well, I just beg to differ a little. You just said that Nuri Sahin isn't fit. Let me tell you something. If the players aren't fit, they'll not be starting the game. We got to see Nuri Sahin in the last. Not in the last game, but the game before that, we actually got to see a little bit of him. So when a player is starting, it means that he's fully fit and he's ready to start.
No, what I want to say, he was not 100% fit. It's not about physical fitness actually. It's more of the mental fitness I'm talking about, because he's not played for 6 months. A guy who hasn't played for 6 months comes onto the pitch, starts the game. For a club like Real Madrid in front of the Bernabeu, it's pressure. It's big pressure, and of course he was injured for such a long time. So I think we should give him a little more time before making any judgments out of the performance of yesterday's game.
Yes,
I think
that's
for me.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, which is precisely what I said. That I'm sure he'll pick up form. Which is precisely what I said.
Yeah.
Tanuj, you wanna join the discussion here? Try to untie those two.
You actually made the point that I was going to add myself by saying one single performance, one 90-minute performance isn't just enough to judge a player, and one little half is not enough to criticize or judge a player as well. So I would say I would have to see more to form an opinion actually, and even though uh, even though Sain is coming back, he making a start after 6 months. He had a decent game yesterday, but there is still a lot more in the season to go to form a correct opinion on it.
Opinion, yeah.
Okay, well then my question is, since he seems to need more time to like blossom, maybe or blossom again, I don't know. When can he play? Because like yesterday was, I would say, a good opportunity because we were already qualified. But then when else can he play? Obviously, he's not gonna play in games that really matter, because if he doesn't do a good job, it's gonna be detrimental to us. So I don't know, when do you think he can seize his opportunity to keep improving and come back to his best level?
I think Mourinho will give him a chance. After all, he's the Bundesliga player of the year of last year. He will not just leave him on the bench like that. Maybe he will start against Atletico Madrid. I think it's a stretch. What I'm saying is a stretch maybe, but you never know with Mourinho. He can start. He may not start. He can play for 30 minutes. He can not even play. But I think he will be given opportunities, because he is perhaps the long-term successor of Xabi Alonso, and he will be given the chance to at least to get the match fitness he needs. It's important for him to get the match fitness, because without that he will not play at his best. And I think one match is good enough for him to come back to form. He's a midfielder, and midfielders are like they just need a match to get back in form. And I don't think we should be so critical about his performance last night. I think one good performance from him and everything changes, and then we'll be asking each other, should we start with Alonso or should we start with Sahin? Like that.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I think Nuri Sahin will surely get his chances, and the point that I made some time back, he just has to grab them, he just has to grab his chances. Only then can we actually see him starting games for Real Madrid. And I don't think he's going to start the next game because it's a really important game for us, and Barcelona is hot on our heels. So I wouldn't say he's going to start the next game, but then I would just like to say that he needs to grab his chance.
Okay.
I think he may not start next game, but there's more chances of him playing, because from what I've seen of Atletico Madrid, they play quite a high line of defense, and Nuri Sahin is a master when it comes to dead ball passes. So when he plays from the midfield and gives those dead ball passes, he can destroy the Atletico Madrid's defense, and the same goes for Barcelona, because Barcelona play such a high line of defense. It's like they're playing in the midfield. So I think more it'll be like a Trivert against Barcelona, but it's no use talking about Barcelona at the moment. But I'm just trying to say that a dead ball, his main strength is not main strength. Actually, he's very good at dead ball. If you followed him last season with Dortmund, his dead ball passes were superb. It's like magic how he does it. It's amazing. And I think against Highland defending teams, it's gonna work very well, I think.
Okay.
I think he will play. I don't think he will not play, and he will play a crucial part in most of the games. And I can't say whether he will play the next game or not, because one of the problems that we have to fix is Alonso is on 4 yellow cards in La Liga, and if he gets another yellow card against Atletico Madrid, then he misses the next game against Gijon.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
It will increases Sahin's chance to play.
Which, as you mentioned, yeah.
That's how you see things, Umid. Like, yeah, let's give him another yellow card and so Sahin can play.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I don't want Javi to miss the game against Barcelona,
Oh, okay.
nor does Mourinho. So I don't think so. That increases Shine's chances to play in the next game.
Okay, I get it. Sorry.
Excuse me.
So you got a phone call. As I was saying, if in the next game Alonso gets a yellow card, he misses the game against Gijón, and he will then become available for the Clásico. And I am guessing Mourinho would want to play a trivote between Khedira, Alonso, and Sahin for the Clásico, because he usually does that, unless he goes for the same tactic he did last season by having Pepe in midfield. So that comes later, at a later stage. I'm just jumping the gun right now.
Okay.
But I think it's Sahin will play a crucial part, but just saying anything right now would possibly be too early, in my opinion.
Okay, Apaskhit?
Yeah, well, I feel the same. It's too premature to say anything, and we just have to wait and find out.
Okay, but my question is, okay, based on what you've just said about the yellow cards and stuff, wouldn't it be a good thing if Xavi actually got another yellow card, and so then then we know that he's starting with a clean record again for the next games. You see what I mean?
Yeah, so you want a repeat of what happened against Ajax last season?
I know, but I mean, I think it's actually a little. I mean, it's not pure football, but it's kind of the smart thing, maybe. No.
Only we don't want to make it look the same way. Just make it a little genuine this time.
Well, I think Mourinho is going to do it again. He's Javi is surely going to pick up a yellow card in the next game, and he's going to be suspended.
Okay. So we shall see what happens. Is Umid back, by the way?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
No.
I don't think.
Okay, well we continue anyway. A few more words about Las. I like to ask about him because he's so criticized. Some people say, "Oh no, he actually did a good game," and other people say, "Oh no, he was so bad. What are you talking about?" I don't know. It's like he's, people are not neutral about him. They either like him or they hate him almost. So I thought he did a good job yesterday. But then again, you said, I think someone said that one of the goals came from one of his mistakes. I think so. I don't know what you thought after all.
Yeah, I think for me he was excellent yesterday.
Okay.
Barring that one error which he did in marking, but that came in the end after we got a six goal. He scored 6 goals. So I think I've never doubted him as a player. I've always said he's a good player. He's a bit inconsistent with his performances, but he's a good player. He's a holding midfielder, but his ball control and dribbling is like better than a typical holding midfielder. If you see holding midfielders all around, you will not see a player who can dribble as good as Las as a holding midfielder can. If you've seen against I think the last match against Valencia, he was good while dribbling around, and I think people criticize him because of his off-field tactics.
Okay.
He's greedy. He wants money. Everyone like he said that himself. I guess I don't know, but there was a rumor actually that he didn't go to Spurs because they didn't offer him as much as money as Real Madrid does. I think that's the reason why people don't like him. But as a player, he's good. If he can be utilized properly, he's gonna be a very important player for us. But I think he should just improve his off-field tactics, off-field behavior. If he does that, he will come back to the good notebook of Madridistas.
Okay.
Well, I think last year. Sorry. Please go ahead. Please go.
Sorry. I think in the last 2 or 3 games, Las has been really good. Even on equal levels of other defenders actually. But the whole problem lies, like I mentioned in the a few podcasts before, our opinion of Lars is just formed that way that we're not ready to accept that he's played well. He makes crucial tackles. He does well to control the ball. In some respect, he does a better job at right back than Ramos does as well. So I think he can have a role to play at right back if Arbeloa is missing. I think he's a good backup option.
Yeah, actually, I think now Mourinho takes him as a right back actually, because now since Ramos has moved into the center, we have just one natural right back, and that is Arbeloa. And in the central midfield, we have a lot of options. I can't even name them. We have so much of midfield players, central midfield players. I think now Lars maybe shifted to right back when Arbeloa is not there. I think even Albiol will play as a right back, but not Ramos anymore. The way it has been showing, the way Mourinho has been indicating us since the last 2 or 3 games, that he's ready to play Albiol in the right just to keep Ramos in the center. So I think in that case, Lars is right now our second right back, and I don't know which number holding central midfielder he is, because we have so many of them.
Well, I said several times that Lars Diarra is a very, very good player. When it comes to winning the ball, he's probably one of the best in the world. He's a natural ball winner, and his distribution is also good. His dribbling is also good. And I would just like to say that yesterday the third goal which Higuain scored, the pass came from Lars Diarra. That was a peach of a goal. That was a peach of a goal, and Lars Diarra actually gave that pass. So I think Lars Diarra, he's a really, really good player, but then we should utilize him to the very maximum.
Yeah, Apaskhit, I think it was you last time who was saying that Khedira and Lars should try to go forward more and try to score more, right? It was with you that we discussed that. I think it was with you. No, it was with you and Aaron, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right. Aaron said that last night.
You didn't?
No.
I thought you said everybody should try to score when they're given the opportunity.
Yes. Yes. I was just trying to say that when the midfielders get a chance, they should just shoot.
Okay.
This is just fancy a crack at the goal. Yeah.
Okay. So I see everybody's happy with last performance after all. So I don't know why I worry. Okay. Any other players? Any other topic you wanna comment on? Apaskhit, can you talk about? Do you wanna discuss Callejon?
I think we've lost him again.
Okay. Well, Umid. In the meantime, do you want to make a little bit of self-promotion for, Real Madrid info and your team?
Well, what can I say? Yeah, if you want, my message to the ones who are hearing this, if you want the news of Real Madrid, any kind of news, whatever news, from, as our bio says, from bedroom to the pitch, if you want to know the news, follow us on Twitter. That's what I can say.
Okay, can you repeat the Twitter handle and?
It's at R Madrid Info. RMADRIDNINFO.
Okay, good. Apaskhit, are you back?
Yes, I'm back. I'm really sorry, there was some problem.
No problem, don't worry. So, okay, you go ahead about Callejon.
Yeah, I would just like to say that his off-the-ball movement yesterday was fantastic, and he grabbed the chance with both hands,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's
it. For me, he was the man of the match last night. He was very good. I think, as I've said earlier, he's not talented. He's not as talented as Pedro Leon, the one who he replaced here.
Yeah.
But his work ethic is much better than Pedro Leon. His off-the-ball movements, he's very tricky, and he has the tactical awareness. He knows what Mourinho has asked him to do, and he does it. And he did it very well last night. He's a good finisher, and he's I think he's a striker, or he can play the striker also. He can play the striker, and You can see with his movement, he finds himself in goal scoring positions. He actually almost got a hat trick had the keeper not saved it. It was a great attempt. He tried to lob it, but it didn't find the net. The keeper saved it. And I want to add one last thing before leaving. That is about Benzema's overhead kick, which touched the crossbar.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's the only thing I want to add at the moment. And that is, if maybe I was really gutted to see that not going in, because had that gone in, that may have been the best goal of this year's Champions League. It was exceptionally well taken. Very unfortunate not going.
Yeah. Oh well, some great goals, if they're not scored, they're not great. But yeah, great opportunities, and it was beautiful. Like so many times we were like, oh my gosh, and then so disappointed. But yeah, could have been great. But yeah. Okay, so should we tell you goodbye, Umid, then right now, or?
Yeah, I think I'll leave. I'm getting a bit late already. It's 11 a.m. 11 p.m. at the moment, so I have to leave anyway.
Oh wow! Okay. Well, thank you so much, and I will stay a few more minutes if it's okay with Tanuj and Apaskhit. But thank you so much, Umid. It was very nice to have you on finally.
Yeah, and thank you for having me here, and thanks to Apaskhit and Tanuj for giving us a great, what they say, time with discussing football. I love discussing football. If I could do this, I would have done this for my entire life. It's fun.
Okay, fun. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys. Well, it's your turn for man of the match.
Okay, I would say without a doubt, Gaëlle.
Okay.
I second his opinion as well.
Okay, so you're unanimous on this as well. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I was wondering. I was thinking, well, 2 goals and 1 assist, maybe Benzema, but
Yeah, Benzema would be close second. Is just Callejon's maybe because he's a Canterano as well. So just an added reason, I think.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anything else, or that's it?
That is it, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Just I don't want to cut you off if you have other topics to discuss. But yeah, on my list, that's it as well. So Tanuj, it's your time for self-promotion.
I actually don't like self-promotion, but then again, if I have to.
No, you don't have to, but I'm giving you the opportunity. I know you're having, some podcasts of your own, and go. I mean, you certainly don't need me to do that, but I'm happy that you can.
No. I don't like self-promotion.
So you don't want to say anything? Wow.
No, that's okay.
Okay, well, you can check the realmadridfan.com for more information. I'll do it for you, you see. Okay, well then, that's it. Thank you very much, guys, for your participation, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. And thank you, everybody, for listening. This was very interesting. We have a great insight from those 3 guys, and yeah, I enjoyed it a lot as well. So good luck, Tanuj, on your project that you won't disclose, and Apaskhit, thanks again for joining, as usual. Always there, loyal, and looking forward to more previews and post-game summaries from you.
Sure. Yeah. By the way, I would just like to say something. The last article which I wrote, the post-match report, was my 200 article for your website.
I'm sorry, what?
The last post-match report which I wrote, that Zagreb game report, was my 200 article.
Are you serious? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Wait, I have to tell Javi that the last post that Apaskhit wrote for us was his number 200 for our website.
Oh, he told me.
Oh, you told Javi already. Okay, well, congratulations. Yeah. I don't know how we should celebrate that, but we definitely should. Okay. Well, we're gonna post some videos and pictures of yesterday's game and some stuff at the Real Madrid Foundation this morning. So maybe that can be a little celebration.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, do you know who was at the foundation today? We got to meet, like, quote unquote Pepe.
Okay, wow,
Oh.
that's great.
Yeah, but it wasn't expected. We were going just to, to see what was going on, something they have in Mozambique. It was really interesting. And Pepe just happened to be there too. So it was really cool.
Great.
Okay, well, thank you very much, guys. And Tanuj, have a good afternoon, evening. Apaskhit, have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Take care. Bye.
This was a Madridismo.org production.
Second place. And also, we were coming from a tough game against Valencia. Several players were injured or exhausted, especially after the international break. So Mourinho had a bit of a challenge here with all that to take all that into consideration, especially with the derby coming this weekend. So overall, what did you think of the lineup? Did you think it was smart? Did you expect more changes or less changes or whatever? I don't know, Tanuj, maybe you want to go first since you could prepare a little bit.
I think it was a smart lineup. Anyway, we had progressed to the next stage, and the lineup and many players were to be rested. That was always on the cards. But more than the starting lineup, I think the changes at halftime to have Ramos, Ozil, and who else?
Altintop?
No. Who else went off?
Oh, went off. Alonso.
Yeah. So Ramos, Alonso, and Ozil to be subbed off. That was a smart move rather than the starting 11, I think.
Okay.
Who's going next?
Do I
Go
next?
ahead.
All right.
Fine, then I'll go in. Yeah, actually, I was pretty happy with the starting lineup. I wanted to see Granero in it, but then again, maybe Mourinho doesn't want to take any chances. He wants to go unbeaten, perhaps. But yeah, it was a good lineup. I was very happy to see Shaheen starting actually, and Benzema and Higuain. That was like a dream for me to see them starting together, and it was good because. It was good because they did very well. The way Benzema moved, the way Callejon moved. Actually, I would say it created a lot of space for our strikers, and it was good. And the substitutions were good. And last at right back, I think
Intends to have him play in the future, but if he wants to partner him with Alonso, that was a good opportunity to see how that was going. No.
I would.
Yeah. You carry on.
I would say this possibly wasn't the best game to judge that on. Zagreb, who have not scored any goals in the Champions League up until yesterday, obviously, weren't the best opponents to judge your defensive, to judge Alonso and Sahin combination. So
yeah, that's true. That's really true. That's true, because if you see Zagreb, they did not press us high up on the pitch. They didn't even press us. So if we evaluate on yesterday's performance, it's not gonna work, because if we play like for Atletico Madrid, we play against them, they're gonna press us up, and if they press us high up the pitch, I'm a bit skeptic about this Alonso and Shaheen pairing.
Okay.
But let's see what it does.
Apaskhit, do you want to say something else?
No, well, I completely drink to the fact that it wouldn't be fair to judge them on the performance that they put in yesterday, because Zagreb, obviously they just scored 2 goals in 5 games, and both the goals were scored yesterday. So I would say let's not jump the gun here.
Okay. Well, I want to go back to what you said, Apaskhit. You said, the best thing was the score 6-2. And my opinion is the worst thing was the score 6-2, because I was so hoping for 6-0. I was so disappointed when we received those 2 goals.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have this bittersweet feeling, like, oh, that's great, we scored a lot, blah, blah, blah. But on the other hand, it's like, oh, those 2 stupid goals, it's like, no.
Welcome to another Q&A session for the best club in history, Real Madrid, hosted by Gaëlle. This is a Madridismo.org production.
Hi everyone,
Yeah.
welcome to
Okay.
this Q&A session. I'm Gaëlle from Madridismos.org, and today we'll discuss the Champions game, Real Madrid vs Zagreb, with Umid from. I'm sorry, what's the? I haven't written it down. What's your address again? realmadridinfo.wordpress.com. That's right.
Yeah,
Umid.
that's the Real Madrid account, and the personal account is UKD59.
Okay, good. That's on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I thank you for joining. Also, we have Tanuj
Yeah, you're
from from the realmadridfan.com. Hi,
Yeah.
Tanuj, how are you?
Hi, Gaëlle. I'm doing great. Thanks. How about you?
Well, I told you already. So. And we have Apaskhit. Thanks a lot, Apaskhit, for joining again. You're our savior.
Thank you so much. Pleasure is all mine.
Okay, so last night's game, I would like to. I usually ask you guys what was your general feeling about the game, but I have another question first. So first, I would like to know what you thought about the starting lineup, because coming into this game, there were several challenges. Madrid wasn't defeated in the group phase. They had kept a clean sheet. And they could come out of this game with the mathematical lead of the group. And Mourinho had made it clear that he really wanted to go for that. He didn't want to go for the second. So I don't know. How do you guys feel about it?
Well, I feel that the players became a bit too complacent. They thought that okay, we have scored 6 goals, we can sit back now. But then defenders can never switch off. Which they did yesterday, which is why we conceded 2 goals. And when I said the best thing was we won, I was referring to the fact that we gave our French players a little run up. So
Yeah.
when I said we won 6-2, I meant that our French players played well.
Okay.
But then the defender should never switch off. It will terribly harm our team. So the defenders can never switch off.
Okay. Have we lost somebody? You the three of you are here?
No, I think my connection got cut. Now I'm back again, I guess.
Okay, that's Umid talking, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Tanuj, you're still here.
Yep.
Okay, good, because I got a message suddenly. I was like, oh, we missed somebody. But okay, that's good. Okay, good. Well, Umid or Tanuj, you wanna say your opinion on the game? I mean, not so much your opinion, but your feeling. Like how you.
Yeah, I think we scored well. We played very well in the first half. Callejon's off the ball movements were fantastic. He actually his runs from he was going to the middle. He was swapping positions. He was dragging defenders out of their positions, and that gave space for Higuain and Benzema. Especially if you've noticed, I think in Ozil's goal, you see the movement. You see Callejon goes in the middle. He was going on the right. He was going again on the right, left, and he was actually, in a way, he was changing the formation. From a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-3-3, sometimes to a 4-2-2-2. So I think if this guy, he's not as talented as Pedro Leon, but I think that's his position from now on. That's what I can say.
Okay.
Well, I knew that the starting lineup would be shuffled, and Mourinho made some really, really smart moves. Callejon came in, Casillas was rested. Ronaldo was rested, and he needed rest, After playing for Portugal, he played twice against Bosnia, and those two, especially the first game was really, really difficult, and the second game also was difficult. So Ronaldo needed rest, and Mourinho gave him rest. And the best thing, we won 6-2.
Okay, that's
I
funny.
think-
You should say that. Oh, I'm sorry, Tanuj. Go ahead.
I think more than Ronaldo, the Spanish players needed rest. They were traveling after being on the road for. Once they traveled to England for the game against England at Wembley,
Yeah.
and then they were playing Costa Rica all the way in South America. So
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
So more than the Portuguese players, I think the Spanish players needed rest. Ramos needed rest, Alonso needed rest, and Casillas obviously got rest as
I
well.
think Alonso needs a little more less than what he's getting at the moment. I mean, he's a human, but sometimes I think he's played a lot. I mean, I think he's the highest. He's got the highest minute as an outfield player. I think, if I'm not wrong, and I think he needs a rest. I think he'll just wear him out when the season goes ahead. I think he needs a rest.
Yeah, I think Alonso definitely needed a rest, and I was surprised. I mean, it was to be expected, but since he was never given a chance to
exactly.
rest, I thought he's not gonna get any rest yesterday either.
He just got 45 minutes. I was expecting 90.
Yeah, well, maybe I think. Well, the thing is, that's what I thought. Since Sahin was playing, and I don't know where Mourinho